Hey, welcome to How to Write a Literature Review Part 1. First, we go to the library database. I just type that in the search bar and then I hit enter. And so then it will bring me to this right down here. So you'll get to this screen and then I scroll down and I go right to A to Z databases, which is the second one. And I'll select that. And then in the database title, I like EBSCO. So I'll type in EBSCO and hit return. And then I like APA Psych Info. So you can do any of these, especially if you're working on child development or military in particular, or there's lots of different historical things, Civil War you see here. So if you are looking for a specific subject, you can go right into that and look there. However, for most counseling stuff, we do APA Psych Info, so I choose that. In here, you're just going to use your credentials to sign in. And then as we go, you're going to see that it will pull up some search areas. So while it's pulling up the search areas, you're going to type in what you want to learn. So maybe it's supervision. So we'll do supervision. And as you type that in, usually it will give you some other words that are like it right here. And so I'm going to include that. And I'm going to do something specific. So I'm going to talk about maybe or creative expressions, that type of thing. And so I'll start typing in creativity and you'll see it gives me some options like creative thinking. So I'm going to select all of that. And then when I'm going to go down, I want to generally do the past 5 years. And so you can do 5 years, you can do 10 years. It depends if your professor gives you a range. But in general, let's start with 5 because we want the newer. And we want to choose peer reviewed. That just means that our sources are going to be a little stronger here. And then we're going to hit search, boom, and then we'll wait. You'll want to see how many does this bring up. So if you look over at the top, it'll say results. And here we've got 939. And as I just look at the first couple of titles, I realize this is supervision in other forms of work. And that's not what I want. So because I have so many, I'm going to go up to the top and I'm just going to, you can go back to the last one and add it in. But if you do a capital A and D and then do regular case, I put counseling. So that's just going to really focus in our results and it should narrow the results. See, in the 50s. Perfect. So now, especially if you're not sure, if you know you want to do something about creativity and supervision, but you're not sure, just start to scroll. So we're looking at Sandtray. That sounds cool. Kawa, I've never heard of that. The use of metaphor in counseling supervision. So we're just looking at what looks good to us. So just for fun and to show you, I'll do this creativity to foster connection in online counseling supervision. I come down here to access and I pull up a PDF. It'll pull it up for me here. And then at the top, I have the option to download it, which I'm going to do. So I just hit download and then it'll give me another question. Do you really want to download this? Yes, I do. And it will pop up. And so I go up to my downloads. I'm going to hit that I want that. And there's the article. So now what I do is, especially if I want to work on this all on different computers or whatever, I go to Google and I like the Google Drive. If you want to use Box, you can totally use Box. Also, that's probably more secure, but I'm going to show you on this. So I just go into my drive and I'm going to go right here and I'm going to go up to the top and I really want to start a new folder. So I do new folder and I'm going to call that supervision, just like this, and type that in. And then I'm going to create that folder. Once I create that folder, it'll show up, boom. And you're going to, I was trying to cross out all my things so you didn't have to see it. So supervision folder, and I'm going to do a new file upload. So it's a file and I'm going to go down to my downloads. This way you don't have to save it to your computer. And it's the first one. So I just hit EBSCO text. I'm going to go ahead and open that and that'll pull it right up into here. You'll see it. And then when I click on it, boom, there it is. This way you can create a whole folder of just your articles before you start to read them.